Spiderman, Goblin's Reckoning. New York City was burning, not with fire, with fear. Peter Parker swung through the chaos, his spider sense screaming louder than the sirens below. The streets were a war zone. Police barricades shattered, cars overturned, and everywhere, the echoes of that laugh. "Come on out, Spider-Man! Daddy's home!" A pumpkin bomb exploded to his left. Peter twisted midair, firing a web line to yank himself clear. The shockwaves still sent him crashing through a billboard. Pathetic. The Green Goblin soared overhead, his glider screeching like a dying animal. He wasn't wearing his armor tonight, just a tattered purple cloak over a blood-stained dress shirt. His mask was half melted, revealing the mad grin beneath. Peter spat out blood. "Norman! Don't say that name!" The goblin hurled another bomb. This one burst into acid. Peter barely rolled clear as the pavement dissolved. The fight raged across the city. Peter webbed a lamppost, swinging it like a bat into the goblin's ribs. Bones cracked. Norman just laughed harder. "Remember our first dance, Peter?" He fired a wrist blade. "You cried over Gwen." Peter's vision went red. He moved faster than he ever had, pummeling the goblin with a flurry of punches. Norman's nose burst like overripe fruit. "I told you. Never." A gloved fist smashed Peter's jaw. The goblin went flying through a storefront. Glass rained down. Peter staggered into the wreckage. Norman was gone. Only his mask remained, grinning up from the floor. Then, beep, beep, beep. The entire building was wired. Peter's spider sense went nuclear. He webbed the ceiling just as the world turned white. The explosion launched him 3 blocks. He crashed through a church window, tumbling down the aisle in a heap of broken glass and splintered pews. "God," Peter groaned. "Not quite." The goblin dropped from the rafters, a syringe glowing green in his hand. "But I did play him once." Chapter 4, The Serum. Peter barely dodged the needle. It scraped his neck, burning like hellfire. "What did you do?" Norman licked his lips. "Upgraded the formula, a little demon blood, a pinch of gamma radiation." He twirled another syringe. "Want a taste?" Peter's body was failing. The wounds, the burns, the poison creeping through his veins. But he saw the vial's label. "Project Rebirth, Batch 17. His blood ran cold. "You didn't." The goblin's eyes shone yellow. "Say hello to Captain America." The serum hit Norman's veins. His skin split. Muscles writhed like snakes under flesh. When he stood, he was taller, wilder. His fingers ended in claws. "Peter!" His voice was 3 voices at once. "Let's play!" The church exploded outward as they crashed into the streets. This wasn't a fight anymore, it was a hurricane. Peter webbed a taxi, swinging it like a flail. The goblin caught it one-handed and hurled it back. "You're weak!" Norman roared. "You always were." Peter remembered May's words. "Strength isn't in your fists, Peter. It's in your heart." He let the goblin charge. At the last second, he moved. Norman's claws raked empty air. Peter's foot met his ribs. The goblin sailed over the bridge railing toward the black water below. For 1 second, Peter saw the man beneath the monster, terrified, human. He webbed Norman's ankle. "No!" The goblin slashed the line. Then he was gone. 3 days later, they found the cloak. No body. That night, Peter stood on the bridge staring at the waves. His phone buzzed. Unknown number, 1 word. Boom. Somewhere in the city, a child laughed. The end?